guys, my name is FantomFox. Welcome to another video. Today's video will be on all of the protections when it comes to, well, not just protections. I'll kind of do everything, but this is going to be focused on mainly the protections and some other options that many of you have been asking how they work, how you can fix them, or even how you can find them, and I'll be going over all that in today's video. So first off, we're going to start with the modifiers, and this basically is just in-game options that lets you, have God mode, never wanted, anti-AFK, the simple stuff. Now, when you come over to miscellaneous, you have things like mobile radio, weapons and interiors, disable phone, Rockstar developer mode. A lot of this stuff I covered on Impulse, so it's all kind of, transfers over here. It all has the same concept essentially. Mobile radio is different. Pretty much that just allows you to have a radio. So whenever you click Q, you're able to use your radio like this, right? So what else do we have? Oh, another big question I have is where you can find your IP spoof and stuff like that. If you come to information spoofing at the bottom, you have your social information. Your XID, this is basically the ID that identifies you, and then beneath it you have your name. So pretty much what you're going to do is you're going to type in your name, click enable, and there you go, you're done. A lot of times it will have a line beside it, and if that ever happens, like if you go onto the over here, and let's say for instance your name has a line, just come back to it. You're going to want to go to name changers, just enable it and re-enable it, and that's pretty much it. So now we're going to go on to, let's see, recoveries, or not recoveries, network events. Network events, you have everything from request control to remove weapons, script events from kick to free mode, reports, covers the entire spectrum, entities, this blocks cages, clones, attachments, planes, Rockstar ID, this blocks all messages. Then you have entity spams. This basically, it lets you add models so that way you could use them later.
Yo, what up, YouTube?
What's good? What's good? We have miscellaneous. We have money bags, desync, hide money drops, notify, stuff like that. A lot of the things that I go over, it's all pretty like transferable. So if I say one thing on one menu, it's probably gonna relate to the other menu the exact same way. So hide money drop or hide drop alert, money bags. This is also how you could drop money on your stealth and all all of the good stuff, right? Over here, you're gonna have all of the people that you can go and you can grief on or whatever. You might have to be careful because a lot of times it doesn't spoof their IP addresses. So I'm gonna show you how to fix that in a moment. But over here you have teleports, kicks, crash, and the cutscene, RAM. You have, of course, some friendly stuff. Over here you have a bunch of report options going from friendly all the way down to game exploits. You have report spam, commend spam. You have orbital cannon. When it comes to noises, you could do orbital cannon and all of these other ones. Let's see. You could drop them amount of clones. You can drop the clones with weapons. You can send the attackers. What is it with the weapons or without them? What else do you have? Oh, over here, as you can see where they live, right? You can see their city, their region. Sometimes you could even see their zip code. So like this one, for instance, this person lives in, of course I'll block out his name. He lives in Silver Spring, Maryland. That's actually where I'm from, and his zip code is 209904. Well, I'm from Maryland. I didn't grow up in Silver Spring though. I grew up in Hagerstown, if some of you guys are wondering. And so over here we have a bunch of other options when it comes to teleporting and other types of griefing. So you have teleports for the entire lobby. As you can see, you can send the entire lobby to these specific places. You could also do kicks, bans from CEO, fake deposit, silent. What happened?
What menu are you showcasing?
Luna.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
um, what else do you have? You have flash lobby. You have, of course, commands, chat commands as usual. A lot of menus have them. You have things like kill player, max vehicle. Now, one of the ones that I keep hearing about is give vehicle, and right now, when it comes to my knowledge, I could be right or wrong. It actually doesn't work that well because you give them the vehicle and sure they're able to put it in their garage, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's theirs, because if I spawn a vehicle and you take it and you go and you try and drive into your garage, it's gonna say that you can't have it, right? So what do? Oh, give me a vehicle. I click this button, I give you the car, and now you're able to drive your car in. That doesn't necessarily mean it's yours, because next session you go into, either the car will be glitched in front of your house, so you can't pick up in your garage. It'll be glitched in your house, so you can't even access it, like flipped upside down or like tilted sideways against the walls. So right now, if you want to try this one, if it works for you, go ahead. Me personally, it's not working for me, so I wouldn't recommend it. But if it works for you, go ahead. You know, I could be wrong. They could fix it tomorrow. Who knows? You have money drops, of course. Now this does it for everybody. There's another one so that way you can do it from where you stand. This one you could do the delay, the height. Of course, you can click next to yourself so that way you don't give yourself a money drop. Create drops by clicking this. Oh, there you go. Well, created drops, that's the drops that you've created, so you can manage them. To create a drop, you go to create a drop. You can type in the name. So let's say I want to put I don't know, street, right? Put it in there, and then I add a group, and I create another one, and I could do that so on and so forth. So for instance, I'll create one right here. So add drop, enable, and I'll notice I'm getting a drop right here, right? So this is going to sit there, and notice how the actual money drop is dropping money, and it's not exactly dropping it all at one time. This is because if it just drops a bunch of money, of course, in like not in burst, but like full on, that can get detected. It gives you errors. So it does it moderately. It does a bunch and then stops. So now we're going to add another one where I stand again. There you go, and you can add as many drops as you like. And if you ever want to delete those, I don't have names for them, but you come over here, you delete them. There you go, done and done. Of course, eye protection is on to prevent me from picking this stuff up, so it's kind of just like an object right now. But if you want to give yourself a drop, that's one way to do it. So, what else do we have? We have, Rockstar IDs and recoveries and stuff like that. This part is a little bit complicated, a little bit confusing. I'm having a lot of people ask me about how the recovery works and how the Rockstar ID spoofer works, and pretty much just everything. I'm gonna go over it. So first off, at the top we have save Rockstar IDs. What this pretty much does is, if I click on a player's name, let's say for instance this person, right? If let's say I want to grief this person later, right? Now, in order to grief this person, I could do two things. I can add him to blacklist, so let's just add him to blacklist. And then, of course, I can show his profile, maybe friend him or whatever. But as soon as I have added him to the blacklist, that's pretty much all I have to do, because now, when I go to my blacklisted players, which is over here. Oh, hold on, let me find it. Where is it? Right here. Oh, nope. Let me see. Here you go. So, once you come over to, it kind of looks like a globe. What you're going to do is you're going to come over here. This is the blacklisted players. And if you click that person's name, it actually just completely deletes them from the actual, it deletes them from the session, right? Or not from the session, from the menu. So, but what you could do is, hold on, let me figure it out real quick. Alright, here it is. I'm so dumb. So, if you want to add them to your blacklist, you would click it like that. But another way to get their IP address is you could type in their name, right? So, again, by typing the name. So, a lot of times, if I ever want to, like, grief somebody, what I'll do is I'll put them on a blacklist, and now that I have their name, so let's do Narc, add a blacklist. Let's say he leaves one day, right? Now what I could do is I could take this name, and of course I could see it, and I could just type it in up here. So Narc, and then the rest of what it is. And what I can do is I can copy his Rockstar ID, put his Rockstar ID in here, and I could join his session. Or I could simply type in his name and join his session. So you got to think about that too. A lot of the times people don't know this exists, so I would take advantage of it because it's really useful, especially when you're trying to join a friend that, let's say, hasn't necessarily like friended you yet, I guess you would say. So I use this a lot. So I could just type in a random person's name, and I can see if they're online. I can reload the status, I can show the profile, save their Rockstar ID, join their session, message them, send a crew tag. I could do a bunch of other types of notifications whenever they join, stuff like that. It's just a really good amount of stuff that you could do. And now we're going to come down to recoveries. Recoveries, this is all pretty self-explanatory. A lot of you guys have seen this. You can, of course, change your level. You can click it, it's instant. You can also change it to correction. Either one of these work. Instant, when you switch your lobby, it just changes it. Correction, when you switch your lobby, it puts you on the screen that says, oh, Rockstar has corrected your Rockstar ID. So that's pretty much the only difference, right? Another big thing is you can set your level. You could do the 7.9 money loop. Achievements, you can unlock everything, or you can unlock specific ones. I've had a lot of people tell me that the achievement, or not the achievement, the what's it called? The unlock bunker research doesn't work. The reason why it doesn't work is, let's say I click it and I go into my bunker. Everything's already set up, and so I want a livery on my car, but it's locked. It says I need to unlock some bunker stuff or whatever, right? The reason why it doesn't work is because you purchase that vehicle after you or either after or before you unlocked everything. Sometimes it'll work when you do it before. Sometimes it won't work if you do it after. If it doesn't work even if you do it after, just click it again, leave whatever you're doing, and then get back in, and it'll work perfectly fine. Max stats, enable Roosevelt, pretty much everything. Now, public session starter, you could change this to be solo, crew, friend, and of course you can launch the session. This might put you in a session by yourself if you hit public. Sometimes that happens. If it does, just click it again, it'll throw you into another one. Rockstar ID and high names. So this is what I was talking about before. Pretty much whenever you enable this, whenever you enable Rockstar ID, what it does is it actually makes everybody's IP either completely random or the same. And let's go to hide IP, and now this time it's just completely hiding their IP. Now sometimes this will work and sometimes this won't work. If it doesn't work, the same thing that I did just now, you need to do. You need to hit Rockstar ID and unclick it, then hit IP. So now if we hit hide names and go back over, sure, this hides their names, and sometimes it'll hide their IP as well, but sometimes it doesn't. If it again doesn't work, kind of just I wouldn't say click around because a lot of times you can crash that way, but if it doesn't work, you can just click one and then click the other and click the other, and kind of just do a combination of the two, because sometimes when you click hide IP, it doesn't necessarily work all the time. Again, if that happens, click it again, or click hide names, unclick that, and hit it again. It's really weird. I haven't really figured out exactly how to do it correctly. I'm still working on it. I'll make a video on how I figured it out and stuff like that. Or if anything changes, I won't even need to make a video. So settings, check IPs, check names, check ID. Now what this does is whenever they leave my session, close the game, or warn them, right? and I enable that, and so now anytime they join, it'll warn me, leave the session, or close the game. Right? Globals, this is just the basic stuff. Testosterone drop. You guys already know about this stuff. Ammunition. This, I don't really need to explain this. This is all just, you click something, it does something, right? So, you know, laser, I go, now I got a laser on my gun. Pretty self-explanatory. There's no need to explain this section. You guys figure it out. You don't need to be rocket science to know that unlimited ammo means that you could keep shooting forever. And of course, you know, you'll reload eventually. I think. Yeah, no, I don't think you reload. Cars. I think a lot of people ask me about how all of the vehicle settings work. All the vehicle settings, they're all either at the top or down at the bottom. So down at the bottom, you can set the boost speed, the max. Right here, you can open specific doors. Over here, you can change the metrics, and at the top, you can actually change the vehicle options to max the vehicle, autofix. You could do ghost in vehicle. If you guys don't know what ghost in vehicle is, pretty much, let's say this truck, for instance. Thank you, friend. This is basically the car no clip, so you'll be able to just pretty much just drive through things with whatever vehicle you pick, right? And that's pretty much it. Rainbow paint, you guys already know what that is. That's pretty self-explanatory too. Jesus, this is music. So yeah, you can pretty much just go on through, and as soon as you're in your car, a lot of the options that you didn't see before will pop up, and you can just go in. You can just change pretty much everything. You can change the horn, the brakes, transmission, anything you can think of, you could change right here. Pretty crazy. Go on further down. This is all places that you can teleport to instantly. So right here, or here, or here, or here. You can teleport anywhere just by clicking it. Really handy because I don't have to, you know, type in anything. Teleport to objective and waypoint. Also pretty self-explanatory. Come over here. This is basically vehicles. So if I type in, I don't know. Sometimes you gotta click it a couple times. So if I type in Luxo spawn, it's gonna spawn underneath me as if I'm calling in a car, which is really good for not getting detected, and it's also really good for if you're trying to, let's say, you know, spawn something in and not look like a modder, right? So let's try that again. So let's try Deluxo, and notice how it spawns in like that, rather than just like snapping in. Looks way cleaner. Almost looks like, you know, it was made to happen, rather than it was a mod, which is good. Come over here, and you have options when it comes to the world. Loaders disables, so this disables all of the options that you usually would see on your screen, just making your game look really, really clean. Kind of like it. And going further up, you have a bunch of options when it comes to weather and the actual world itself. So I could do no water, clear water. So let's do clear water. And now this only works when you're in a session, like in that session. If you leave the session, it'll turn off. But let's just spawn at, let's see, outdoors. Let's see, here. And what this does is this makes the water completely clear instead of it being murky, which looks really, really cool in my opinion. Makes it look more realistic, right? I think it looks pretty cool. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it off, and we can click no water. And what this will do is this will literally turn off all of the water in game, which is pretty nutty. So let's just hop on this thing, and let's turn the water back on. There you go. Doesn't break anything, and again, works like a charm. So what else do we have? Oh, sync with system time. It's night where I am, so that basically makes it whatever time it is, you know, that you're living right now. Again, it's night for me. You have free cam, You have TP to cam end. So you have the GTA style camera. So you can of course adjust it like this. Turn it off real quick. You can swap your models. You can edit custom text. And lastly, you have the settings when it comes to the actual menu itself. You can change the colors. I would just go in, and there's no real way for me to tell you what each one of these is for. So you kind of have to go in, change some stuff, and see what it looks like, and then kind of just go back and figure it out. This part's not the hard. Watermark, that's just the stuff up here. See? So I turn that off, it makes it look really clean. You can set the actual theme. And now if you guys don't know how to set a theme, I'll make a video for that in like 2 days. It's really easy. It'll be a like maybe 5-10 minute video. But other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If so, make sure to tell people about my channel, hit subscribe, like the video, and lastly, don't forget to turn on post notifications because I do post almost every 2 days. But on that note, I will catch you guys later. Per usual, stay Fantom.
Just leave me for somebody else. Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. Just leave me for somebody